Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I personally worked on avoiding a Turkish-Greek war for very simple reasons. That I empathized with the dead Turks and Greeks in a possible Turkish-Greek war, and there will be many. I think about 1 or 2 million each side, because it's a very deep and long rivalry politically. But I always say map is different and ground is very different. So we Turks and Greeks are always and have always been since about 700 or 800 years, let's say ever since we invaded their asses. And, well, we had to, because Catholic Vatican Church were after them, killing them, taxing them, and oppressing them because they were Orthodox. And they welcomed us. So it's not much of an invasion, it's more of a unification historically. So on the ground, it was so different that I was born and raised in some Istanbul suburb. We had many Greek neighbors, lovely Greek neighbors. They taught us their culture, and they already lived with us, and they know everything about our culture. So I personally learned a few Greek cuss words from them, and I personally learned how to say thank you, you're welcome, etc. Evcharisto, paragalo, which is a language I love. It's very expressive. I mean, how more beautiful can you say thank you? Evcharisto. Oh, it sounds very Mediterranean to me. Paragalo. Oh, I blush when I hear that. Paragalo. Oh, very nice. Cafe paragalo. Get coffee, please. Oh, you're welcome. Paragalo. Sweet. So, I, as one of the white Turks, always traveled to Greece, never mind the political issues and never mind even the economy issues. I even went from Bodrum to Kos Island just to spend a few hundred euros to help them with their economy. I took both of my kids there too, and we went to open air museums and shit. We had some great food, and it was a lovely day. I'll never forget. I take it with me to the other side kind of day. Both my kids were so happy. We enjoyed. It was lovely. I loved the Greek moussaka. I eat about 3-4 different dishes in the same day, just because I would never find it anymore. Maybe their superior moussaka I had. And they're very cheap seafoods like octopus or oyster or whatever, all that, shrimps and stuff. Very cheap. It's like 1/30 of Turkish price. I swear, the same food. I paid about 25 to 50 euros for all three of us in total. Like, we had everything on the table, from baklava to moussaka to whatever. And all three of us, I might have spent maybe 40 or 50 euros for exact same food in Turkey, in Bodrum, on just the other side, about like 45 minutes of boat. The same food would cost us minimum 200 euros. I promise. Well, I eat that there too. That's why I know the prices. Anyways, But some of the food, they are very superior for those of us who go and experience it. They're superior at taste, the way of cooking, the way of everything. Their moussaka, their pieces of the moussaka were chopped so interestingly. Anyways, even the chopping was different, but we don't really pay attention to that kind of detail in Turkish food because we kind of, I'll tell you about the history of Turkish food, yes. Ottoman picked food from everywhere, like they liked the Arabic kebab, and they took it, they adopted it, and they abused it, consumed it. And then, the Greeks, dolma. Dolma is, of course, Greek. We never said dolma is Turkish, but we love it, and we cook it a lot. That's a different story. But it doesn't mean we own it. It doesn't mean it derived from us, honestly. I can understand why dolma has to be Greek. Because it's Mediterranean, it's the Aegean. And the Aegean was all Ionia and Antique Greece and all that. All fucking 5,000 or 10, between 5 and 10,000 years. It's very seriously, very ancient. But still, at this kind of, conjuncture or geopolitical climate, Greeks, even though however much they are weaponized to their teeth, there are more American weapons probably in Greece than America itself. I can imagine it might be possible. But there are reasons for that. Geopolitical, resource sharing to even religion issues. Some evangelical Americans come into the picture and try to, mix us up. Well, that's what Erdogan said this week. He said, Americans come between us. It's true. Because otherwise we get along fine. They come to Turkey a lot. Even though one of our crazy burnt their bus with many Greeks in it. Just some street crazy, he coincidentally burnt a Greek tourist bus. I mean, he could have burnt easily a Turkish bus going from Istanbul to Ankara. But it just happened to be a Greek bus right at the area where I used to work right at those days. It was just a couple of blocks up the hotel I was working at in the year, 88 or some shit. Anyway. And I cried when I heard 30 Greeks burnt in a bus right 2 streets up the hotel I work at. I cried and I was so sad. I stopped working in that area. I didn't even want to go to that area anymore. That area really saddened me. 30 innocent tourists died. Forget Greek, forget Jewish, forget anything. Just 30 people. That would hurt, just that it would hurt me. Kind of, equally human people had to burn because mentally challenged person was walking free on the streets, which we have lots of them in Turkey. We don't have the kind of safety like in the Western societies that you call up the government with one number, and everyone knows this number. It's 111 in the UK. I think it's 112 in Holland. You call up and you say, I have a crazy person here, and they take him there. You spot a crazy person, and you can get him referred. And in Britain, you can, and I did a few times. I had to, because it was good for them. They could have killed somebody innocent on the streets, honestly. I promise. I mean, I spotted them. I checked their psychology. I did a little work on them, psychiatry work. And I'm not Freud, or I don't have a laboratory or anything, or I don't even have a study about human psychology or psychiatry. But I use my own interpretations and educational analysis, etc. Anyways, well, I am a bit coherent, yes. Not being a snob or not being too big-headed or anything. It's just that it's, everyone's fate is their fate. I can't question that. So, Greeks and us, love and hate. Two different sides of an apple. The only difference between a Greek and Turk I see practically is the religion, nothing else. And that's the only place where Americans try to enter. They come to Greeks and they tell them, wait, how can you be brothers with Turks? How can you sit, drink and eat with them and sirtaki with them and shit? How can you Zorba dance with them? You should Zorba dance with us Americans. We made your movie, Zorba. Remember Anthony Quinn's? So stop being friends with these ugly, smelly, dirty Turks. We Americans are your brothers. Don't worry, we send you 10 million tourists. That kind of attitude. So you don't need the Turkish tourists. Oh, really? If Greece tourism doesn't get enough Turks, they are dead, my friend. Their economy is very depressive without our economy, without our help or contribution to their economy. Anyways, and they know that. At least their politicians know that, because today, just yesterday, I think, Erdogan and their finance minister were meeting, and the Greek media was very critical of the finance minister because he kneeled in front of Erdogan, which it means he's kneeling in front of Turkish people and Turkey for the love, meaning I don't abide by your American shit, like coming between us. He's saying Turkish economy, he's kneeling his head in front of Erdogan, meaning thank you for sending us many tourists. Thank you for not anti-campaigning for your people to not come to Greece. Turkey could easily do that. Turkey could stop legally. Turkey can tell their citizens to not go to Greece. We are at war. Not one tourist you can see in Greece that time from Turkey. So that would probably mean half of Greece's economy. And if we boycott them, and if we stop sending them Turkish yogurt, Turkish flour, Turkish everything, Turkish sucuk, the Turkish even leaves for them for their dolma. They make dolma and sell us to Turkish tourists. Turkish Turkey. That would be fun. I am a Turkish Turkey. Turkish Turkey. Turk. That's what I am, yes. Alhamdulillah, thank Allah. I'm very happy to be born Turkish with a very rich culture. Yes, now, culture. We've got lots of culture. And y'all have kind of like fuck off culture. Y'all, I mean the West, the Americans. What culture do you have, man? What food do you have? What is an American? We don't even say we are Turkey people. We say we're Turk. Greeks say they're Greeks. What is this? American. You have Arab Americans from a long time. You have Indian Americans. They own the land, actually. They are the leaseholders. No, I'm sorry. The Red Indians, the real native, the Americans, the real homogeneous people of the Americas, hold the freehold contract of the land. You whites, I'm not white. I have the same blood with your native Indians, Americans, the owners of the land. It's my land. It's my brother's land. Which I've explained before in my other videos, how they went up north from Bering Strait into Americas, and we went down south to Europe and Anatolia and the Middle East. and North Africa, eventually, historically. Anyways, well, we're from Siberia, the Bering Strait, all the way to, we're everywhere from Bering Strait up in Siberia, Yakutistan, which are also Turkish people. Turkics. We speak same language with Yakutistan, all the way up near the Bering Strait, the end of Siberia. It's Yakut people. That's where we come from too. Yes, we settled in Anatolia about 10 or 12,000 years ago, but that's another story. It's another Turkish story. That's like where Turks come from and who we are and who we come from. I explained, we come from the wolf mother. That's why we call ourselves grey wolves. If you're 100% Turkish blood, you're grey wolf. Okay, let's go back to Greeks. We can never say Greeks are our brothers. They're not. They're Orthodox Christians. We're not allowed to call them brothers. They're not Ihwan. Egyptian is Ihwan. Algerian is Ihwan. Lebanese, partly Ihwan. Because some Lebanese aren't Ihwan, they're Christians, etc. We know the code, we understand. We know who's who. We know who's white, we know who's Turk, we know who's Arab, all that. And I'm Turk. I can't be Dutch, I'm not. And I can't be an American, I'm not. I am American because the land is owned by my brother. It's my brother's house. It's my native Indian. It's very stupid why they call them Indians, you know. They went out to run from Turks, us, because we conquered Istanbul. They knew we were after Rome next. So the Pensias, Vaticans, tried to run to India, move to India because Turks are coming. Romans, like Italians, had a saying, Mamma, Turks are coming. Mamma. Turca di Vendi or something, like, or Vinci or Vendi, I don't know, some Italian stupid ass language. I respect Latin language, but I don't respect much to Italian because Italian is not really Latin. It's really a bit of confused language. It's got effects from Africa everywhere because of the Mediterranean location. It's very understandable. I'm not judging it. I'm not saying it's bad. It is what it is. Latin is good. I like Latin. Some people can't read Latin, but I never had a study about Latin, but I can read Latin and I can understand, and it's just, I can say Latin is a language, yes. Slavic languages are a group of languages like Russian, Polish, Slovakian, etc. Even Croatian is Slavic. So we have in Europe Turkic languages, like Turks in Europe, from Balkans to Britain. Because we have now new Turkish accents arised. Like Turk from Germany speaks a bit different Turkish, and they're all very similar to each other. Because the effect of the German language and phonetics enter and take over some of their tongue, which I understand, which I can't support much because it can lead you to some sort of assimilation. I mean, you could end up being a German with a Turkish name in about, like, I don't know, 50 to 100 years. It's kind of dangerous for us. It's not good. It's not what we want. It's not our plan to lose our culture or get ourselves assimilated or, you know, taken over by some German identity. No. I would hate that. That's why I love Britain, because Britain doesn't really pressure you there, you know. I, as Karim Ozevin, with my Turkish fucking name, I get respected just as any random John Smith. And because I feel it, I sense it. I don't feel any aggression or any discrimination, but you would in mainland Europe. That's why Britain is winning against the panty-ass Germans, because Germans are dogs. I'm sorry for being racist, but look how Israeli murderer Netanyahu had German presidents, not even the PM or counselor or something, chancelier. Fuck all those names. It's just some surely as Baldy, the PM. And Jews made them Germans. German Prime Minister fucking lay flat on the ground, scared that the shitless or some bomb attack coming from Hamas. It was bullshit, of course. It was just a gesture to make them crawl on the ground. Yeah, that's their, ultimate revenge picture. Schultz, the German dog, laying on the ground because of security issues, security anxieties of Jews, which is a lie. They set him up. Then the very next week, the German president went to Israel, and they made him wait right at the steps of the plane, not even let him touch his foot on the ground for half an hour. Yeah, Netanyahu made the German president wait for half an hour inside the plane, because even one step outside the plane is Israel. So he had to stay within the plane, which is still Germany, until you entered Israel. So they told him, wait, bro, you can't come in that easy. You have to wait. You have to look stupid. You have to look shit. You have to look stupid. You know the Israeli accent, I like it. Are you stupid? What are you saying, Kareem? I had customers like that. I had one Jewish Israeli from Amsterdam